friends, family, I'd like to welcome you and thank you all for coming here today on such short notice and to be together on such a sad, sad day. Now, I know we all knew him and some of us were closer to him than others, but this is a very hard day for all of us. Death is never an easy thing to grasp, and it's important that we take today and this time to come together and mourn the loss and celebrate the life of our dear friend. Now, during today's memorial service, I will be giving the eulogy, and I will be covering the life, the loss, and the everlasting bond that we will forever share with him. To begin, I'd like to address his life. Now, we don't really know when he was born or where he came from, but I'd like to think that the first day we met was the first day of both of our lives. When I first laid eyes on him, I knew he was the one. He just had this special glimmer in his little black round eyes, and he had clearly this energetic personality about him. He soon moved in, and we found out that we had some differences to sort through. It seemed like he was a little bit on the nocturnal side. He just loved to stay up all night and run and run and run, and he had this steady diet of nuts and grains and things that I would just never even dare to try, but they were his favorite, and it was all he really ever ate. Also, the dogs and cats that we shared the house with, unfortunately, never really grew accustomed to him, but he stuck through it anyway. And the thing I think about most, though, is how whenever I tried to hold him, it was like he was always trying to scurry away from me, but I knew that deep down he really loved me. Through thick and thin, we saw past our differences, and we were able to create a deep, loving relationship. And as far as we all know, I mean, it was all too short-lived. And I'll never forget that fateful day that it all came to an end. It was around this time yesterday, April 24th, 2013, that I came home to find the unimaginable. My sweet, dear little friend was at the ripe age of 3, and I found him laying in his bed peacefully with no pulse. His chubby little cheeks were so full that I think his little body couldn't handle it. Now, let's see. I know our heart is breaking that this is such a preventable loss, and it pains me to think that he could have gone through so much hurt and pain in his last moments. I just hope that he went peacefully, eating what he loved. Now, his positive, energetic spirit is now gone, and heaven has a new, tiny little angel. And I think, regardless of his size, we could all agree that he had a heart that was larger than life itself. And during these times, I think it's really important that we just remember that even though we can't change the past, we can choose to focus on the good times and reflect upon the blessings of the times that we did have together. And most importantly, we should remember that we have a connection with him that even death cannot separate. This special bond between man and best friend is something that some people may think is a little odd, but we can choose to cherish this bond and appreciate it on this day. We can remember the good and the bad times, and we can remember his almost non-existent way of showing love to us that somehow made us love him even more. And we can remember that he is with us always, each and every one of us. When you hear squeaking in the middle of the night, he's there. And when you feel a little nibble on your finger, he's there. And when something, goes a little accidentally number 2 in your hand, he's there too. Now, the memories of his legacy will go on forever, and one day we might heal and think that it's okay to get a new companion, but we should never forget him. The circle of life is something that we're going to have to face over and over again throughout our lives, and today we show our deepest respect to our fallen friend. His life, his loss, and the eternal bond that we share with him are on our hearts today as we say our last goodbyes. So with that, goodbye, Mr. Fluffy the 8th, forever in the hamster wheel of heaven and forever in our hearts. Thank you.